welcome to the sassing that nobody asked for, but we're gonna do anyway because we felt like it.
Long story short, we watched Death Note, the anime, a long time ago, and we heard that there was a Death Note movie on Netflix that was really bad. Did we hear that? It was bad?
I haven't heard anything about it. I have no clue, actually.
I heard that people were complaining that it was bad, but I don't remember if that was real or if they were just worrying that it was going to be bad beforehand. I don't know what happened with it, but basically we're just going to watch it and see what we think of it.
Are you ready?
Ready for what?
I have an apple.
I have a pen.
No!
Apple pen.
I was gonna eat that.
You can still
this
eat
was
it.
in honor of Ryuk.
Oh.
I got an apple.
I had to do it, though. I don't know if that's what you actually meant.
My apple.
You said it in that tone. You know what I had to do. Did you actually mean to reference that, or did I just do this? Am I a psychopath?
I think I subconsciously referenced it, but I kind of want to dig my nails into it. That sounds really fun. Like,
I don't want to
have... just, like, claw the apple? I don't... Is that weird?
I think this has gotten off track, but hi! Welcome to Sassing.
I just saw apples downstairs, and I was like, wait, that's a Death Note thing, right? It feels really satisfying to catch this.
And I have a pen, mightier than the sword.
Wait, so I'm Ryuk, and you have the hair!
I'm gonna take a potato chip and eat
Insert
it!
a picture of Ethan with light hair. Let's just watch the movie, guys.
That's a good point. I forgot that we're here to do that.
Light Turner? Is this not Japanese? Is this
Why
like
would they change
Americanized?
it for no reason? Maybe they just wanted to turn it around a bit and make it
turn around. Look at what you see.
I hated that scene.
Hey, I thought it was cute. Am I annoying you with my apple eating?
You just spit apple nort on me. How could you do this? I'm going to perish. This is very American. Football.
I mean, I guess that's an interesting take on it. I guess.
But why?
I don't know.
Is he doing homework for people? Wow.
Oh, what a savage.
I don't like the way he looks, but oh well.
This music does not match the tone of this at all.
It just falls down in a big football field and no one else sees it but him?
It's getting rained on. You're gonna ruin it.
Wow, he's like,
oh, I have a Death Note.
Rub on it.
Oh.
What person does that?
Mia Sutton says she saw you walking into a beam out back. How do you think we found you?
It's you.
Hey, I only do that a lot. All the brain cells I had, just boom, one or two fall out every time.
You have the chance to stop the type of people who make things hard for everybody. You gotta see the...
It's so heavy-handed.
Losing your mom the way you did, and they'd be willing to cut you a little slack when it comes to these kind of behavioral issues. Well, I don't believe in that.
It's weird that he would be like, oh, you know what? Some people might cut you slack, but I'm not gonna! Ha! Why mention it then? Why you gotta bring out those memories for him? This poor guy. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Are they trying to make Light more of a sympathetic main character by being like, oh, his mom's dead, he's a troubled child, when in the anime he's just like, I am doing the right thing, I will kill people. So I don't know how I feel about that.
He gets 2 weeks of detention after basically running like a extortion on his classmates. I'm not wearing my handy dandy whoosh whoosh. Oh, I didn't get it on right.
My whoosh whoosh.
Shush, it's a whoosh
a necklace referred to as a whoosh whoosh.
I can't remember
words. Hey guys, look at my
things.
tangled whoosh whoosh.
I can't be bothered to remember English words. I'm just here to sass the writing of this show. I don't need to know English. He got off pretty light.
Ah! It's that random girl.
It's that girl.
Hi. Bye.
He really wants to make a love connection. Oh. Ryuk.
Hi, I'm awake. I was just like a tree or a plant or something.
I was... What? I was a tree or something?
What just happened? Back it up.
What did he say? Sorry, my excuse is I was a tree for a moment there. I decided to become a plant.
Bad? So I was just a tree.
Yeah, that threw me into detention because I was a tree.
I'm so tired.
Hi, I'm awake.
I was just like a tree or a plant or something.
Is he gonna elaborate? Or is that it?
I was trying to photosynthesize, that's why I was sleeping.
He really is you, just saying things that make no sense whatsoever.
Wait, so they went through his backpack and found all those things, but they didn't find the
this
mysterious
says Death Note on
mysterious otherworldly thing. And that means that the principals, or like the teachers or whatever who went through his bag probably touched it, which means they can see the Shinigami.
Rule 1, the human whose name is written in this note shall die.
I love reading out loud. Oh, it's been used before.
Hecko.
Side note, did it look like there were a bunch of different types of handwriting in that book.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't look very consistent, like, God of Death, like, okay, let's mark off the next one, mark off. It looked like it was just like, wee, woo, wah, woo, wah, wah. Like he was drunk. Just like, like spinning the book in midair as he's writing or something.
He got drunk and just took out all his enemies, and then he was like, oops, I did a bad.
He's a God of Death. What enemies does he have?
Other gods of death.
But you can't write other gods of death names in the book. I thought
Maybe
that was
he
one
tried because he was drunk. Marbles!
Where did these marbles come from?
Someone lost their marbles.
Ah, it was me.
Oh. Oh, he's a porcupine.
It's Sonic! Ah! Why is this happening?
I don't know.
Ryuk's a chill guy. He can't be bothered to put an effort to anything. I
what
don't
was
understand.
that?
Go check it out.
Why is Ryuk instigating Light's descend into chaos? He
Yeah, he
decided to
was just
try it out. That
chilling.
was kind of a major part of like Ryuk was like, oh heck, this guy's crazy. He's already
Yeah.
killed a bajillion people. Whereas in this one, he's like, hey,
Would you
I
like
gave
to
you
kill
a
people?
book.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, you should
wink,
go.
Wink,
Mhm.
wink,
That
wink.
kind of ruins part of Light's character, because part of the reason why he's such a crazy psychopath is because he started doing things on his own and taking initiative and doing crazy stuff, and Ryuk is just kind of watching. But in this, more like the plot is happening to him in this case, I guess. So.
And also because they did like the, oh, his mom's dead, he's a troubled kid, and Ryuk is telling him to do this. It's like,
It takes
he's
away
not
his
the
agency.
psycho.
Yeah.
But I like Psycho Light.
I mean, that's his character, so...
Wait, is L gonna be in this? I think we're gonna ruin L. Ugh, bruh. Preacher inhales.
Why is Light not sketched the heck out? A demon comes in and trashes his classroom and is like, yo, you wanna try killing that guy? And he's like, why not? Well, he's not hesitating at all.
Any day.
Dogly?
Decapitation!
What?
How will this
no.
cost?
Basketball! Whack!
Prime decapitation method. What the heck is this movie?
What did I just witness? Oh, he's gonna get in so much trouble for that.
You ruined our classroom! I mean, I guess they'll probably be more concerned with the dead kid down below, but...
Probably.
Instead of actually trying to solve real problems, you spend your life looking over people's shoulders so you can bust them for, like, monitoring reports or whatever.
So much exposition.
Yeah.
Or like, this is my worldview and how I see the world. Why don't you see the world the way I do? Because I don't see the world, I see the world this way. Oh, okay, that makes sense. I'm gonna leave now.
We've never spoken before, son, but we could establish our worldviews to each other.
If I was a cop and some guy ran over my wife, I'd be pretty pissed off. If his dad paid his way out of jail, he killed my mom, he nearly beat his girlfriend to death.
That was so much exposition that I can't even, like, comprehend what he just said.
Their minds are like, if this was real life, they'd have to think a little bit about the next sentence they're going to say. He's like, I'm ready to go.
Bam, bam.
Here's my proof and my arguments
Someone
and my logic.
ran over my mom, and someone bailed so-and-so out of jail, and... Oh...
I'd be lucky if I could say one of those sentences without messing it up.
Rule 95, anyone may write names in the note, but only the keeper can possess it for more than 7 days. Jesus.
What does that mean? Anyone can write names, but only the keeper can possess...
I don't know.
Hello?
Don't trust Ryak.
Ryak.
Who owned this book beforehand? Does Ryuk just go around, like, passing this around like a lottery book? Like, you get to kill people today, and you get to kill people. Peekaboo. Porcupine.
Pikachu.
So why is he not, like, traumatized and like, I just killed someone. What am I gonna do? Oh, no. He's just like, oh, I killed someone, okay. Hey, Dad,
you understand me.
Oh, I'm so emo.
What exactly can I do with this death note?
Kill people?
2 days. Your fingers are huge.
Hey, why does Ryuk have big nostrils?
Because he has such big fingers.
Ah! Also, how come we can't see his face? Why is he so dark and spooky?
They didn't bother animating his face. They just added 2 big orbs of red.
He's a sauce of death.
No shark attacks while someone's on the toilet.
Wouldn't the shark just come through the pipe and
A very tiny shark.
baby shark do 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 baby shark. What do you write for the reason?
Probably like eaten alive by tadpoles or something.
Toaster strudel. Just what if he put just a random series of words. Just like Pelican Battle Royale. Just like, what if he just said like Earth collapses or something?
Oh, well, I
Would
guess
everybody
I
die?
guess Ryuk said, like, no sharks in the toilet or whatever, so I guess it has to be, like, plausible.
Well, physically possible doesn't really limit it much, because, I mean, decapitation happened
Toaster
by...
strudel. Decapitation via toaster strudel.
Just the toaster. Chunk, 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 chunk. It keeps bouncing
Hey,
and
if
going
it's
back.
frozen and comes at very high velocity, you can probably do some damage.
What?
I don't know.
Whenever it does a death sequence, it's like slow motion, tiny little thing happens, which causes, oh no, splatter of blood and death. And it's like, oh,
Yay.
what? What happened?
Why are they all such freak accidents? Because, like,
I
in the
don't know.
original,
In
it
the
would,
original,
like,
you just
look
have
like
a heart
natural
attack,
causes,
or
yeah.
or it would be as simple as possible to
Yeah, like
cause
getting
it
hit
to
by a
happen.
bus or something that could happen to a normal person, not like getting decapitated by a ladder on a truck caused by
Yeah,
someone being in the road, caused by tripping over something, caused by basketballs, caused by
could the
etc.
ladder go even fast enough with that? Like, that was a school area.
Yeah.
That couldn't have been going more than like 35 miles per hour. And
It was a
He was-
sharp ladder.
realistically, it should have just gone bonk. And we've gone, ah!
Hey, what you up to?
Oh, just listening to a demon.
Ah!
Oh.
Ew, I don't like it. He's reading it at school, bro.
What the heck?
It says Death Note on it.
I just wish I'd seen it.
Ew, what, psycho?
You knew that you know my name?
People who go to high school together typically do know each other's names. I mean, just from my experience, I went to a kind of small high school, but like, not that unusual.
I mean, they kind of call roll sometimes.
They gotta do. It's typically a thing that happens.
I thought you could use some medical attention, and I wasn't aware of the fact that you were carrying around a stockpile of illegal papers in your backpack.
Why wouldn't she just say, hey, a dude beat him up, he needs medical attention, instead of, oh, he walked into a pole, he needs medical attention.
What is it?
Oh my gosh.
Your book?
I can't tell you.
Just say it's like a
Say-
book you're reading or something.
Yeah, just be like,
Don't be like, oh, I can't tell you
it's
what
just a
Death Note is."
fancy journal.
Yeah, but okay, make it weird if you want to.
So
You really wanna
smooth.
know?
But
You really want to know? A spooky demon offered me a murder book, and I killed the dude. I'm not incriminating myself at all. I can trust you, random stranger.
person
We're cool,
that I
right?
met 8 seconds ago and apparently didn't ever talk to before this moment.
I know. What?
Okay, then I'll tell you. I'll just
What is your problem?
follow me.
You weirdo.
What? What kind of moron? Light's supposed to be the brightest guy in his
Yeah,
class
he's
or
super
whatever.
smart and
Part of what made Death Note so interesting to watch was because it was like a game of cat and mouse with like, oh, mind battles and like, oh, okay,
It was so
if I
cool.
do this, then this is like, oh, they can be tracked in this way. Oh, I gotta make sure I take precautions in this way. In this one, he's just like, oh yeah, let me just have the book out in the middle of class, and oh yes, I know it murders people, but that's fine. Having a book that says Death Note with the rules of how to kill people and the name of the guy that I killed written in there, that's not gonna get anyone suspicious. You wanna know what this is? Look at this, it's right here.
When you see him, try not to freak out.
oh, so it is the touching.
You do know that it can do that. How? What? What? What?
That wasn't even established though,
Only the keeper of the note can see me.
Oh.
bro. Oh, I guess he didn't
He
say
didn't
that
know, I
because she
guess.
touched it, but I guess he just thought everyone could see him. Okay.
Gotcha, okay.
I'll forgive it.
Will you just read the last entry?
Kenny Doyle decapitation?
But the last entry was the other dude.
Yeah.
Excuse me!
He used a different page, obviously.
But then that wouldn't be the last entry. She would flip to where the last one was.
Well, clearly he did on a previous page. There's just a corner of space
Oh.
left, and
He wrote it above the
Big
other
brain.
one because he is so big brain.
stoinks. He knew that this would happen, so he did
He knew that he had to say the line, look at the last entry, so he wrote it above
Mhm.
to fit the script.
You sound a little crazy, but I have a death god.
I have a death god!
You're whack.
You of all people are gonna want to see this.
Because you're a psychopath
You,
too.
of all people, are going to want to see this person that I just talked to 8 seconds ago, but who confirmed to be a sociopath because you wanted to see someone die. Let's be a team.
It's like we start out with this like idea of like, okay, it might be okay, and then it starts to like crumble, and it's like, oh, it's still mostly okay.
This is the same feeling as the Percy Jackson movies, where like you're just like, maybe it's not that bad. Oh.
It's like denial, except bargaining, anger.
We can work with that.
They're doing this at the school?
You gon' die, son.
Imagine just a lunch lady walks in and she's like, oh, what are you kids doing? Oh, you're looking at a crap. You wrote the name of it and he died. What is happening?
And there's probably like security cameras in the school.
Yes! Don't die.
I think you wrote my name.
Oh,
Dies
no.
by choking on apple.
I'll
Take a
take
potato chip
and
and ate it!
if they don't have, they probably won't have it, but if they don't,
Come on,
I'll
guys.
be sad. The police have a very good shot at him right now.
James Bond?
What?
James Bond? James Bond? Oh my goodness.
Those are police officers. How are they this incompetent?
The thing that made people suspicious and confused in the original Death Note was because everyone
He
was
died
dying of
by a
heart
heart attack.
attacks.
Yeah,
and
that's
like
what
5 million
gave him a
criminals
hint.
kept dying of heart attacks unexplained. But this, like, it's just freak accidents. Why would anyone even be suspicious?
They haven't even established that you can just like
Do the heart attack
defaults
thing,
to
yeah.
heart attacking.
So how are they even going to introduce L or anything? I am Confucian.
Steps into traffic. Performs a military salute. Is struck and killed.
We killed him.
Okay, you freak of nature. Bye.
Why? Give me one reason why she wouldn't go to the police and be like, heck, this guy is terrifying.
Hey, maybe it's a plot twist and she like pretends to be his buddy, but she's really like gathering evidence, and then she.
She's
freaking-
L.
That woman and her kids are only alive right now because of what you did. What is there to feel guilty about?
What?
I mean, all the people that make life miserable, make life dangerous, I can reach them now.
Okay, people who make life miserable and dangerous
Concern.
is extremely subjective.
Mm-hmm.
So, have fun with that, and this is why we have
You
Law
make
and
life
Order.
pretty dangerous now.
Yeah, like someone else in the Death Note would be like, oh, let's get rid of this kid.
If anything, I think you're not crazy enough.
I think he's plenty
What?
crazy, girl.
Like we as in us.
Oh my gosh. Why?
Congrats, you fell for a psycho.
Congrats. You're both psychos. It's so nice
Have
that
fun, the
you
Joker.
both met and bonded over
Killing people.
Oh my gosh, this is terrible. His dad's gonna be like, man, the amount of ridiculously crazy Rube Goldberg machine freak accidents has skyrocketed by 700% over the past 24 hours.
Dude, the police have like a little segment for how many Rube Goldberg machine deaths there have been.
They're like, usually we don't get to use this chart, but
But
suddenly...
today there's been 83.
Wow! Something's not right. Excuse me? What? What?
We murdered people, let's kiss. She's pretty though.
Are they just staring at each other the entire class like, oh yeah, we're gonna murder so many people?
This is the weirdest thing I have ever seen in my life.
Are they trying to turn this into like a romance?
Like a teen romance based around killing people.
This does not work. This is... What?
I have never been more
What?
tonally confused.
It feels like they're trying to make this like a... I've never watched Fault in Our Stars, but...
I was about to say
Yeah,
that!
it's like they're using similar shots and stuff too, and I'm just like, this is not a happy summer like romance chick flick or whatever. This
so
is
weird.
literally genocide. What are you doing?
Is this serious or is this like a parody? Like, what's going on?
I don't know.
People could not have seriously made this and been like, oh yeah, this is the Death Note live action. Oh yeah.
Kira? What does that mean?
It actually means light in Russian and Celtic.
Well, wouldn't
That's
it be
not
right if we
obvious.
could just trace it back to you then?
No, could they? It also sort of means killer in Japanese, so if they're gonna be looking for him, it's gonna be on the wrong card.
This isn't based off of a Japanese franchise at all.
Baffled investigators today as death row inmates in 6...
Oh, so he's starting to like make the people talk about.
He's broadcasting
Kira.
himself. He's like, I've picked a name for myself. Let's have everyone
Hello, I am
say,
Kira.
oh, I was killed by Kira.
Oh, I'm so confused.
And we still haven't even established that there could be a link between, like, or, like, just heart attack deaths. Because they haven't established.
So the only deaths that they can know are from Kira is when he signs his name and says, hello, this was done by Kira. There's no other way to know, apparently.
Is that a church collapsing? How... Is that, like, representing how he is toppling world religions and making himself...
He's the Antichrist!
I'm so confused.
Hello? Who are you? Are you Elle? I will die if that is Elle. That is Elle!
He has a signature look. You can't just, like, decide that a character is gonna be completely different looking. Hashtag Ariel.
Yes, besides the fact that he looks utterly different than, like, you know, incredibly pale with the iconic hair and everything, why is he in public? Just showing this half of his face to everyone, being like, hey, it's me, I'm Elle, what up, hey, I'm not threatened at all. You've already ruined him. How could you do this?
The insulin spike from the candies will focus your mind for final consideration. When it fades, you are asleep for 1 hour.
Since when did the candy actually have, like, a purpose? I thought he just liked candy.
You're out of the woods, you're out of the dark, you're out of the night.
So...
Step into the sun, step into the light.
Wow, okay. This reminds me more of, like, Darth Vader mounting his ship or something.
Yeah.
Investigation? Since when? And why are you just telling me this now?
Investigation? Since when and why are you telling me this just now? I really need to know. That's a very suspicious son you have there.
And also doing a glimmer move, being like, excuse me, parental figure, how could you not tell me every detail of your life? I'm offended about this.
Elle is real?
You're familiar.
Elle is real, even though he apparently walks around in public all the time, but okay.
Detective Turner.
What is this?
Excuse me. You
Not
cannot,
even the voice modulator?
You cannot introduce
You can't... Why are we...
in this unmysterious fashion.
We should have introduced him here.
And then put the L on the computer screen and be like, oh, he's spooky.
He's so spooky and mysterious, even though we already introduced him. Do it the other way around.
Yes, people. And as you said, no voice distorter thingy. Like, that was so cool, bro.
He wants us to believe that he's Japanese, operating a half a world away. He's not. Kira's in Seattle.
How would you know this? I feel like Elle was kind of intentional with everything he did. He didn't waste time or energy doing things. He was like, let me do this, let me do this. He's just like, let me adjust myself real quick.
Yeah, he's too, like, jerky and, like, not composed and, like...
He's very relaxed, whereas Elle's kind of contemplative, I guess.
That is the exact reason why we can't kill people.
There's a person right behind them. They're like, oh, you want to kill people? I love killing people. Killing people is so great.
It's not like that. These are real people with real problems, and they've all been ignored.
Yes, because Facebook user McGee number 2600 decided to upload a picture of their mom because they were having a bad day. Like, my mom's so mean to me. She never lets me go outside when I want to, and I had to have my friends smuggle me out of the house with my teleporting powers, and you should kill her because she's the worst. Send.
Yeah, her justification, he was like, how do we know this is real? And she's just like, it just is. That's my justification. It just is.
I'm sorry.
Excuse me for doubting you.
I didn't see it that way. I didn't realize that it was just true. I'm sorry for questioning why the true thing was true. I'm sorry. What is happening?
I don't know.
He's going with that? We're not gonna carry on that
Light
train of
is
thought?
stupid. Woo.
Woo!
Ow, my butt.
More candy.
Oh, revealed his entire face. Thank
Oh
you.
no, now Elle can kill him. I mean,
Not
like,
Elle.
Elle with more letters.
Elle, like, what's the use of the face mask? If there was a threat, they could just go, peek! And then you'd be dead.
Pretty much.
Hide behind your screen like you're supposed to.
Please, James, have a seat. Rest your glutes.
Rest your glutes?
The heckity?
Allow yourself to stop using quite as much ATP.
And the ensuing crush of Kita activities was the fact that Brody's toxicology had come back clean. Standoff had never made national news, and it was only broadcast on local Seattle stations.
So that's how you knew he was here.
Why do you think that was
He's basing his own entire theory that Kira lives in Seattle based on this dude who stepped in front of... Yeah. He's like, oh, because this case was only broadcast in Seattle, that means he lives here. But you don't have a good justification for why that killing was Kira. All the guy did was salute and then stand there while a car rammed into him.
It doesn't make as much sense as it did with the heart attack thing.
Yeah.
Because that made more sense.
It seems like just the driver of the car should be, the guy being looked into, because he didn't stop for a guy who was standing there. He didn't run into the street. He just stood there saluting, and then a car just, like...
Yeah, I mean, for all intents and purposes, that guy could have been like, all right, I am surrendering. I'm sorry. I've seen the error of my ways. And then that police officer's just like, I'm gonna hit him!
Yeah, why is no one investigating the dude who just rammed into him with a car?
I don't know.
This doesn't make any sense.
L's dumb.
L is a not big brain.
Here's a cross-reference list of officers and their access, as well as the dates of Kita.
He's doing the hold things and, like, in the way L does it, but he's being so flippant and ridiculous with things that it doesn't,
he's, like,
it doesn't have the same character.
Manner, but it's just a disgrace.
It doesn't have the same character behind it because of the... He looks like he's got too much sugar in his system. He's eating the candies for real. And the actor's like, woo! Caffeine! Hello. If you're Kira, kill me.
I am in front of 8 million people.
Hello, I am Darth Sidious. No one's gonna freak out about this. It's not like I am at all suspicious and maybe looking like Kira. And I mean, he can see most of your face. What counts as seeing all of your face?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. What if you cover up just like this much? Then would he not be able to kill you?
You should put like a postage stamp on your nose.
You can't see me.
You can't see all the
nose,
the face.
Side bangs or something. Oh, you can't see me.
All of the victims have had their identities released to the media. This would suggest that Kita is not some omnipotent force. He's a person.
Why is that evidence that he's not omnipotent? Like, just because an omnipotent person chooses to kill people on the news doesn't eliminate the fact
it means it's a human, because there's no such thing as an omnipotent media monster.
Exactly. Like, just because he chooses people who are on the news doesn't mean that he can't be omnipotent. L's logic has so many holes in it. He just makes such broad assumptions based on such little evidence.
Unless, of course, you'd like to kill me right now.
Why is he putting himself on the line like this?
Yeah, he doesn't know anything about the
he doesn't know how the power works at this point. He's putting himself on the media, which is what he said is the only way that the killer knows how to find people.
He doesn't know
He's challenging this killer to kill him right now by putting himself on the media, which is how the killer knows how to kill people. What does he expect to happen here? What?
The real L was hiding his face and name just because he's trying to not like have his identity out there. Because he's always spooky. And then he finds out about the face and name thing and continues to hide his identity because he's smart. This guy doesn't know anything about needing a face and a name to kill someone. He just is wearing this mask because I don't know.
Just because he really gets cold and he's like...
he wants to look spooky, because, like, if he's hiding his identity, that doesn't really do that much for the average person. So it would only make sense for him to have that if he does know about the, like, face and name thing, which he doesn't know about. And now he's just going out there being like, you wanna kill me? Like, what prevents him from thinking that Kira actually could kill him? Every sentence coming out of L's mouth is just nonsensical. Ryuk has no character in this movie, too. He's just like, hey, you wanna kill people?
You wanna buy a sundial?
And he's so, like, quirky and stuff in the original and, like, a weird death god, but whatever.
It's like they took Death Note and they were like, how can we remove all the logic and charm from this?
Yeah. How can we make it terrible and nonsensical?
And add gore and language.
Yeah.
Kira cannot kill by simply sight alone. He needs a name and a face.
And also, where did you get this theory from?
Yeah, why is he like, he can't kill by sight only? Why do you assume he has otherworldly powers? What gives you that indication? Why wouldn't you think, like, oh, he must maybe be in these locations, like, rigging things, causing people to, like, kill each other or whatever? He just automatically goes to, oh, I bet if he sees someone on TV, he can kill them. And now he's like, oh, I bet he needs a name, too. There's no logic behind this.
Now, we know that he wants to kill me, but is unable.
You don't even know that!
Maybe it's just because you haven't done any crimes. maybe it's because you're not a bad guy. And he's like, why would I kill someone who's not a bad guy? I deliver justice on the bad people.
Everything he says is backed up by no facts. We know that he wants to kill me, but is unable.
How do we know
You
that?
don't know that.
What we know is that L doesn't make sense and jumps to conclusions.
He's jumped to every conclusion he's made. I don't think he knows how, like, logical things work. It's like if he's trying to do a syllogism, the thing where it's like, all men have 2 legs, Ethan is a man, therefore Ethan has 2 legs. He's like, all potatoes have green hair.
I eat candies, therefore L is Kira.
Yeah.
I mean, wait.
That's basically what his logic is. I'm so confused. This is the worst thing I've ever seen. I'm just angry.
What if you're wrong?
You are.
In those games, I'd be dead.
How?
Either way, we will gain valuable information.
Because there's no
Either
other
way,
reason.
if I die, then we'll have gained valuable information. Because I don't care about my life.
If I was wrong, I'd be dead. Maybe he just doesn't feel like killing you. Do you think you're that important that he's like, oh, I have to... I'm done.
Oh man, a guy in a Star Sidious mask just kind of came up on stage and said, I'm gonna get you. And I'm like, oh no.
Gotta kill him.
I better kill him.
This is so much worse than, like, Percy Jackson. With that, at least it, like I could watch it. This, I just can't even get through it. I just can't.
Well, I mean, with Percy Jackson, it was meant to be an entertaining, like, goofy kind of action movie. This is meant to be a, like, psychological thriller, mind game. Like, it's supposed to be heavily based off of, like, a cat and mouse kind of logic-based challenge of the wits kind of game. If you ruin the logic behind every argument, you don't have a story structure anymore. You just ruin it, and it doesn't become a mystery. It becomes a rage fest, because nothing you're doing makes any sense.
They didn't even have the part of, like, Elle making that little drawer thingy to hide his Death Note.
Yeah.
So as far as we know, it's just in his room, and his dad could walk in and be like, what's this? Oh, look, it has the names of every person who has died? What?
Besides, I think you can tell when you're sitting across from a killer.
He's a kid. Yes. A particularly bright kid.
Have you been talking to the same Light?
He's been doing homework for other people, I guess. That's a bright thing to do.
But, like, math? Being a mass murderer.
Yeah.
Where connect?
Well, right there. Just jump the shark.
Oh, just
there
jump. Oh, just be Elle and just go, Pachoo!
We're the good guys and they're trying to stop us.
We don't kill innocent people.
You more delusional
I don't
than
have
Catra.
anything to say about that, but just know I am... Ugh.
They're just talking so freely about this. I'd be afraid I had been, like, bugged or something.
I know, yeah.
But he's just like, maybe we should stop messing around with the Death Note, and, like, maybe we should stop killing people for a little bit, because I feel like they suspect us, and let me just eat my popcorn on this Ferris wheel
remember
right here.
that time in the scene where
There were,
was
like, 8 million
ignoring
cameras and whatever,
Ryuk, and he
like,
was just like, oh, let me just act completely normal or whatever, and Ryuk's just like,
hello? Give me apples?
I'm hungry. Once she goes to use the Death Note.
She stole it, didn't she?
I thought maybe we could make some popcorn and take some names down for later.
You okay there?
They're talking so casually. It's like, hey, I'm going to the store. Do you want anything? Oh, yeah, a couple of murders, maybe some homicide, and also a little bit of mass genocide. Like, a little bit of each, whatever.
They didn't even, like, explain the apple thing. They're just... Ryuk
just every time
throws apple cores.
Every time Ryuk walks into a room, all the apples just eat themselves.
Yeah.
Oh.
Bye, Sherlock.
Someone killed them all.
You?
There's so many rules in that thing. There must be some kind of loophole or something.
Shouting about it in school.
So I guess she took a page and she did this, but like, once again, this is taking away the agency from Light. Light was like, oh, let's be a good guy and not do that much. And then Ryuk has caused him to kill people. Like, hey, you should kill people. She is being like, hey, why don't we take over the whole world and be crazy and kill stuff? And now basically, it's taking away the agency from Light. Instead of him being the psychopath, things are happening to him and causing him to do this and making us be like, oh, we should sympathize with Light because he's not a bad guy. Other people are doing this stuff to him. It's not his fault that much. But, like, the whole point was that he is the crazy person who's doing all this stuff and plotting out these intense, difficult to execute maneuvers and like thinking out things and having the agents fill in their own names to kill themselves and all this ridiculous stuff. But in this, things are just happening to him and he just exists for some reason and it doesn't...
We're not killing my dad! Mia, this is over!
In the anime, he was like, I'll kill my dad if I have to.
Yeah, and he seems to even dislike his dad here.
Yeah,
Like, he had a
even
fine
more so.
relationship in the anime. He was
Exactly.
just like, whatever, Dad. But here he's like, Dad, we have different worldviews, but now he's like, don't kill my dad. I have such a nice relationship.
The good guys anymore.
He just said we're not the good guys
I'm
anymore.
the bad guy.
This is a huge departure from Light in the anime, because in the anime, Light never was questioned.
He's like, oh, I
he
am
was
the
like,
good guy.
Anyone,
I'm a god.
Anyone who disagrees with me needs to die.
Mhm.
But in this one, he's like, oh, wait. Maybe we are stupid jerks. This is, oh no! What am I gonna do now?
I hate this.
Now she's Kira, and he's just there.
True, she's the
instigator.
From the beginning,
he's
she's
just there.
been like the more psycho one,
Mhm.
and he's just been like he
He
doesn't
was
know
like,
what he's doing.
hey, look, I got a cool book. And
Hey,
she's
look,
like,
I
oh
can
yeah,
kill
let's
people.
use this. And he's
And
like,
she's
wait
like,
a sec,
oh.
what? But I will become more powerful than you could ever imagine. Sorry, that was Palpatine's voice with Obi-Wan's quote. I'm bad.
Whoa.
You're the guy. You're L.
This is weird because
You're the guy. You're L.
he
Let
knows
me
this
just-
is a totally different dynamic because he knows that that's L, whereas in the anime he's supposed to be like, wait, is it?
Yeah, in the anime, that reveal was just like, how do I respond? Do I
he's here.
respond like, oh yeah, that's really cool, or do I respond like, what? Oh.
Yeah, because like he was
was
so
a-
cocky and he was just
oh.
safe in his bubble, and then
It
he
was
was
such-
like, L is here. What does do?
And I was just staring at him, trying to see how he would react the
That
entire
was
time.
so good.
The mind games. We haven't even talked about Shinigami eyes or anything.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
That's not my real name, but I'm sure you're painfully aware of that.
Because you're Akira, by the way.
I wonder if it was a difficult decision.
What was difficult decision?
Sparing your father's life.
Does he even have a reason to to specifically suspect
Not
him?
really. I don't think so.
He just said like, oh, it has to be someone with insight to the database or whatever.
I mean, it could be one of those 12 people. That would be logical, right?
Yeah.
And then what we haven't heard any other evidence as to why it would
He's
be
just
L
deciding that it's jumping to conclusions again. He's like, oh, bet it's this kid.
Well, if you're so sure, then why haven't you just arrested me?
So he basically just admitted. He's like, oh, well, if you're so sure, why don't you arrest me?
The reason that he thinks it's him is because he didn't kill his dad, but then like he didn't kill L, and he still doesn't really have a reason to believe he needs a face and a name. So like maybe Kira just didn't want to kill this detective for some reason. You can't just say that it's his son. This is just bad detective work. You can't just like circumstantial evidence just be like, oh, it's you. Like
I'm suggesting that maybe what you and the person you're after want isn't so different, and maybe they're as ready to see the killing end as you are. And if that were true, perhaps...
Complete departure. What if Light was just like, all right, here's how we do it. I want out. This girl is crazy. Please absolve me of the crimes. This is nuts.
Yeah.
Because, like, that would be an interesting way to do it if, like, Elle became the new keeper of the notebook, and Ryuk was like, gosh dang it, now I can't give it to some other crazy person who would do a lot of murder and fun times. And happy death sauce.
happy death sauce.
I hope they actually take it in a new direction here. It wouldn't be the same as the anime, but at least it would be an interesting plot line, given that they've ruined the original.
You know what I think, like?
Is there a reason you just did that?
He senses weakness.
L would take a frying pan and hit you upside the head. Because why would you do that?
There's no reason to give up another...
Yeah, you should use caution over just...
What if he's manipulating you and playing you like a fool?
And then they beg.
I'm not begging, I am telling you that you don't understand.
Let me...
He's admitting that he's Kira.
He's getting so aggressive that it's clear that...
He's admitting that he's Kira.
Yeah.
It's very clear that he's Kira at this point. This conversation wouldn't happen with a normal person.
You're just trying to kill Kira.
No,
Kira, kill
I
Kira.
do not kill, Light. I don't even carry a gun. It's distracting. What I do is bring people to justice.
The other people in the cafe are like, what? What's happening here? Looked like he was about to cry.
He does.
And Light looks crazy now. Okay. And he's not arrested? If anyone else dies, that's on L.
Yeah.
Like, L has him captured at this point. Like, he's in checkmate, basically. He's admitted to being Kira, basically, for all intents and purposes. If Light kills any other person That's L being incompetent and not, like, handcuffing him right then and there. Why did they let him go?
I'm a cheerleader, Light. Nothing I do has ever mattered until I...
I'm a cheerleader. I cheer you on to kill people.
Give me a K. K. Give me an I. I.
Give me a double L. Because that's where you're going.
To kill? The location of kill.
I meant H-E-L-L. The double L, double hockey sticks or whatever. I forgot that there's more to spelling than just the final
just
letters.
LL.
Alright, I'm done. Nothing I ever did mattered, because obviously murder is the sole purpose of my life.
I love you.
I don't care. Are you...
Okay.
He'll show me his face. I'm gonna get his name, and I'm gonna stop him.
That sounded so... Al showed me his name. I'm going to get his face. I'm going to stop him. I said that opposite.
Huh?
Al showed me his face. I'm going to get his name. I said Al showed me his name. I'm going to get his face.
Did you actually?
Yes, and you joined in and said... My stupidity is contagious.
This has killed my only brain cell. It's almost 1 a.m. and we still have, what, like 45 minutes of the movie left?
Yeah.
How are we this?
We're gonna die.
I'd rather watch She-Ra.
Me too.
Wow, guys. You heard it here first. We found something worse than She-Ra. Oh, he's killing Watari.
With revealing the true identity of the detective known as L. For the next 48 hours, he will see.
What? Can you do that?
But that's just Watari. That's not his full name. And even Watari, is that not his real name?
I don't remember. It probably isn't, because if he works for L, why
yeah, that's
he?
why I thought Watari was an alias as well. And wouldn't he need a last name or something? Whatever, apparently this is working.
Maybe he's Watari.
If the person who writes a name destroys its page prior to the death being carried out, the target will be spared. What? So if I burn Watari's page before October 12th at 7 p.m., then nothing bad happens. Isn't that right, Ryu?
But then he wouldn't actually do the actions, would he? This is breaking the rules, I think.
I also think that's breaking the rules.
Because I think as soon as you finish writing it, it happens. And, like, you can't change it.
Only one name can be removed from the death note by burning it. Get this one wrong, you won't get another chance.
Why? And how does he know that someone else hasn't already done that? Because it had different owners.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, what is a Rochester ward?
They were orphans.
It's not like he's mind controlled and unable to do anything else, right? Like, he's still able to do other things. So even though he's ceasing, like, communication with the outside world, he would still be like, I'm suddenly being forced to call this number and tell everything I know about L. This is weird. I should probably maybe write down what's happening and say, okay, this number is the L or the and like do something. You could throw it out your window. I don't know. Just get information to someone. I don't know. Surely he could do something. Plus, even if you're sparing him, the game is up. Like if you're sparing his life, that's 48 hours of him being mind controlled by you. Then suddenly he's free and he's like, I know exactly who it is. I called
this number
and it's Light's voice.
The dude had to cease all communication with the outside world, so he can't talk to anyone once he leaves his house. People are gonna be like, "Hi, how can I help you?" And he's like, "My mom."
Wait, that counts as communication.
Yeah.
So he's just gonna be like, "I'm getting on this plane, but I can't say anything to you about it. I can't buy a ticket. All I can do is walk on the plane and hope that you don't stop me." Wait a minute. Something's wrong. My buddy is not telling me to sleep. Is that his phone? Sees that the last number called was Light's phone.
Smart, Light.
Very
that
aggressive
was weird.
for L.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi.
Did you just appear in the house?
And so now L is just walking around without his little face bandana, which indicates that the only reason he was wearing that was because of hiding his face from Light, which he didn't know about when he was first introduced with his face bandana. So what was the purpose of him ever wearing it if now he just takes it off willy-nilly just to look cool? Or
Germs.
journal.
Your son is Keita, James.
All right.
And I don't know why you haven't been able to put one and one together, even despite.
I don't know why you have.
And how is she gonna get out with the Death Note without being stopped?
Jump out a window.
The house is surrounded! By the way, I definitely didn't kill 400 people.
That's
good.
What? And I'm definitely not a god of death.
Okay. Learning new things. Thanks for keeping me up.
Learning new things? You thought I had killed 400 people?
I thought maybe.
Oh, did you think it was 399? Because now it's 400.
Good night.
Good night.
I'm gonna go have some nightmares about my children. Hope I'm not 401.
So, like I said, this is on L. He let him go, and now Atari's missing, and L's like, "Wah! How
You
could that
never
happen?"
play Tuba Simulator. Wow.
What? Hurry.
They haven't even established that there's other gods of death that exist in this universe.
Or other smart
Death
people.
notes and stuff. Smart people.
I mean,
basic
there aren't
way
any
you
smart
could-
people yet. So, the important records they have are just kept in an abandoned mansion.
Yeah, that's what I was
with
thinking. Like
a bunch of pipes underground.
I've asked Brandon here to dance with me for one. Is that cool with you?
Poor Brandon is just like, what's happening here? I didn't want to
Suddenly
dance
he
this
gets
psycho.
tased.
And leaping to his death.
Why is it giving this little recap of how she did that as if we weren't supposed to know that she was the one who did that?
To explain to people who didn't know that.
But I thought it was just like what you would assume happened. It was
Because people are dumb
really
and they
obvious.
can't expect you to think in a thing where they don't think.
Are you insane? Do you think that I would ever let you near that thing again?
They're making Light into kind of a good guy
I'm
who's trying
so
to stop the
confused.
killing. I don't.
'Cause he started
This is
off-
a 180 on his like what he is.
Yeah.
In the anime, it's basically like she is Light from the anime,
Yeah.
and he is.
I don't even know who.
He's a blank slate. He's Adora
I got
from
a blank
She-Ra.
slay, baby.
Light Turner's heart stops beating at midnight.
You're trying to kill me?
You're going to officially pass the book to me.
That's a toast, I guess.
Is Elle gonna go kill Light?
Um,
Okay, Light has, or Elle has officially lost his mind. Yeah, I think he got that
From
from
the
the lights that are flashing. Elle is too smart to be doing things this dumb.
Yeah.
Elle doesn't act out in rage. Elle
I was just
calculates
thinking that.
everything.
Yeah.
Wow, so Elle has a gun, which is supposedly distracting. Elle is
Yeah.
about to murder Light for revenge. Who works at a construction site with a jackhammer at midnight? Why would you do that? That didn't even help you go faster. That was just rude. I don't understand why anyone is doing anything. This is like...
Whoa, he just yeeted that trash.
This is like a manufactured fight scene for the sake of having a fight scene, and I don't understand why anyone's doing anything that they're doing.
Yeah, I'm just really confused.
This man is Keita. I'm working with law enforcement in order to capture and eliminate.
I knew that was gonna happen.
Lord Kira.
Oh my gosh.
Lord Akira.
This is so stupid. This is so stupid. This is so stupid. Why? Light, this is your opportunity
And
for
why would-
redemption.
And why would that dude just like be like, oh, this random crazy angry man just said this is Kira. Guess I'll believe him. Like, there was no reason for you to think that.
He's
I feel
like, yes,
most
I will
people-
implicate myself for this, and it's like, oh yeah, he's a person, not a god. All right, I'll still be on his
Most people
side.
seeing like a teenage boy like that wouldn't be like, oh yeah, you're right, that is Kira. They'd probably be like, are you sure? That doesn't look like a killer to me.
He was very quick to turn on law enforcement. That was... my brain hurts. Why did he even have a 2x4? He's a chef.
Don't you cook with 2x4?
This is the worst place to run away to. You're literally trapping yourself.
You love me.
Let it go. Can you just burn all the pages? Burn the whole book? Like, if it can be burned, just destroy the whole thing so that nobody deals with it. That would be the smartest thing to do, Light, if you don't want it to be used. I don't understand what's happening or going through anyone's heads.
You do?
I love you enough to let you die.
You put my name in it, didn't you?
It was only if you took the book, and I thought I could convince you not to take it.
Are you kidding me?
So he wrote her name in the book along with all those officers in case she did take the book so that he could escape with the book, but he thought he could convince her to not take the book, in which case he would burn that page and not kill everyone. Either way, he's still going to be stuck on a broken Ferris wheel, which is apparently now exploding and collapsing into the lake for some reason. And I have no idea why any of this is happening, or what the logic is, or why he didn't just burn the freaking book. I don't know what's happening.
That was just too much.
How does he expect to survive a giant Ferris wheel accident, too? My brain has left the sanity land. I don't know what's happening. Why is that happening? The only damage that was done to it was one bullet shot.
Yeah, why is it dying, exploding, falling?
This is not logical. Oh, Ryuk is doing this with his magical death god powers?
What is with this happy, upbeat song as they're plunging to their death? Flower death time.
Flower, gleam, and death. How did Light fall in the water and she died? Is he dead too? Because they didn't deal with that page. Unless it happens to drip into a sparking light and burn.
Light?
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! What? What? Are you kidding me? That is the most Ex Machina thing I have ever seen.
Ex Machina, you're gonna live!
That is the single most, like, oh well, this just happened to work out kind of thing in a book, movie, TV show. Anything I have ever seen. How the frick diddly heck darn... And now this random fisherman has the death note?
And every one of them identified.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! And now someone else has the death note, and they've picked up where Kira left off, like I said. And now we're at the season 2 thing. In a very different and very more confusing way.
Yeah.
What the heck? This is so ridiculous. He's in a coma. Who, random fisherman man, why did you decide to give this back to him? She's
Wow,
such a
I miss
crazy-
my psychopath girlfriend so much.
Then it hit me. James Brody wasn't the first victim.
Is the reason his dad thinks it's him now because he found the newspaper about the guy? And why would his dad assume that that means that he's the killer? Like,
because he died in a weird way.
yeah, but that's still not, like, necessarily evidence. But also, if you're the parent of your child, like,
That's
in the
true.
original, the dad
That's
was all
true.
like, no, it's not my child, I refuse to believe this evidence, this is stupid. But
Mhm.
this dad's like, I found a newspaper clipping of the guy
It
that
is you.
killed the mom. It was you all along! Oops.
And especially, like, now that there's more killings happening after.
Yeah.
Like, that would...
People were just saying that proves it isn't Light, and
Mhm.
yet his dad's like, it was you all along.
Yeah.
There's never any evidence to back anything up in this movie. It's just all, like, jumping to conclusions and opinions, and I feel like it's this.
Yeah, it's
so-
emotional based instead of logic based, it
I
seems
don't
like.
understand this at all.
Do you really want to know?
He's admitting, again.
Manages to revive him, saving his life.
He planned to fall from that.
She pulls the page with my name on it from the note, and it is ultimately consumed by fire.
How can he plan so much?
My mind is blown. It's still ridiculous and stupid, but okay, that is helpful for that, at least.
Yeah, I guess. But I just don't understand how there's no rules to how many paragraphs he can write about someone's death, like planning out every single detail. He could probably, like, make himself into a millionaire and have, like, a great life just by planning out someone's death very elaborately. Saying, like, this person goes and becomes the most famous singer in the entire world and gains millions of dollars. Then they give me all of their millions of dollars before they decide to jump off a bridge. He can just, like, do stuff like that, apparently.
And for some reason, Light Yagami was... Light Turner was written as the only claimer on the will.
For some bizarre reason.
Whoa.
What is Elle's problem?
Oh. Well, there goes Light.
You humans are so interesting.
It's the circle of
So we don't know if he dies? Don't ruin L like that.
Please, just kill him. Just end it slightly more satisfying. You're not gonna make a second one of this, I'm assuming.
We lived.
Well,
It
that
took
was
us like
the
3
first-
hours to watch this
That
hour
was
and a
the
half
first
movie.
3-hour sibling sassing ever, and hopefully the last.
This took so much out of me to watch. I'm so tired.
My brain literally hurts.
Me
oh my
too.
Gosh.
My head hurts.
Why did we choose to do this?
I
so
thought
sorry.
it wouldn't be that bad.
I thought this would be simple and that we would get to bed at a normal time, but now, nope, it's almost 2 a.m. I'm losing my mind. I need a hug. That's not how you hug.
The headphones are in the way.
My helmet.
That was
the Death Note movie. I understand why people said it was horrible now.
Yeah.
Not only were the characters drastically changed and messed up, the
Incredibly
plot was
changed.
butchered, the logic of the Death Note stuff was ruined, the whole cat and mouse game of... There was so many conclusion jumping and not enough actual substance to any of the things they said.
Why'd they try to make all of Death Note into an hour and a half movie? That can't be done. The main disappointment was L for me because he was the best in the original, and they totally ruined him. All his logicless conclusion jumping was just frustrating.
I need to get some candies and boost my brain levels because
Oh,
I'm about to
man.
die. Light was almost an okay guy. Like
Yeah.
they tried to.
He wasn't even that bad. Like, he killed people, but, like, he seemed to realize that it was getting to a sketchy place. But then, I guess that girl was supposed to be the version of Misa or whatever, even though their roles were almost sort of switched, because she was the psycho and he was just the sidekick.
Oh.
And Ryuk just didn't have a fun personality. He was just a creepo. He didn't have a
so
potato chip.
confused. He didn't eat the potato chip. I'm so
that.
sorry that you had to suffer through us suffering through this.
That was probably the longest video you've ever watched. I'm sorry.
I feel deeply unsatisfied, very tired,
Same.
frustrated and annoyed, and also just I want to go to sleep.
Same.
But thank you for watching
Thanks
this video.
for watching.
I'm so sorry that you had to watch
Never
this.
watch this movie.
It just ends.
I'm delirious.
I just want to write my own name and just know it and not be around anymore.
How can you... Where's the line of physically possible? Because maybe there wasn't a fire in that area for like 800 miles. Would the paper just keep flying for 800 miles until it caught on fire? Or would it just ascend to the sun and burn?
Hang on, how was he able to even specify that the paper happened to land in the fire if that's not a person?
Yeah, it's an inanimate object that he just controlled the life of.
So what he said was, Mia yanks out the page and she falls and dies or whatever. But then she has no way to make sure that the page gets consumed in fire. He just said the rules. Oh, my head hurts so much. Oh.
Me too. Oh, man. See you guys some other time.
God bless,
need
bye.
to die now.
I'm so... Oh, it hurts. It hurts me so much.
Help me.